Today I fucked up by not knowing what a fluffer was. Okay, so flashback to 2011. American Horror Story Season 1 had its premiere, and I was hooked. This was the season with the haunted murder house, where the new owners always ended up dying in horrible ways. Well, Zachary Quinto portrayed a gay character named Chad Warwick, who I believe was hired by the owners as an interior decorator. In the episode, while spiffying up the house, Quinto's character makes a snide comment about being a good fluffer. I figured it was a fancy way of saying decorator, since that's what he did, so I slapped it in my lexicon and continued watching the show. For the next 12 years, I used the word fluffer as a substitute for interior decorator any chance I could. I told friends they needed a fluffer. I said to my girlfriend that we could use a fluffer when we bought our house. Hell, I even told a lady friend that she would be a good fluffer, since she had an eye for setting up furniture and knickknacks. I figured I was flexing my knowledge of the English language, but instead I was doing quite the opposite. Nobody said a thing about it. Nobody corrected me. The next part could have been avoided if anyone had. I was hanging out with my mom, and she had just moved into her new home. I've always been on the artsy side, so she was asking for my advice on her vision for the house. I gave her as much direction as I could, but also insisted that she find a professional fluffer so she gets it right the first time. She looked at me confused, replying only with an "excuse me." I figured she didn't hear me, so I repeated myself. "You should hire a professional fluffer. I'm good, but I'm not that good." I think I saw her soul leave her body before she corrected me, telling me that fluffer was a term given to the person on set for a pornographic film tasked with keeping the male talent hard. I couldn't believe it, so I said, "Yeah, sure. Maybe in the 70s. She told me to look it up, so I did. A fluffer is not an interior decorator. Fuck you, Zachary Quinto. Too long did not read. I told my mom she needed a fluffer. It's making me laugh so hard that out of everyone you've used that word with that, it was finally your mother who needed to tell you what it was." This is from Wikipedia. Predating the pornographic usage, which came into use in the 1970s, 8, 9. Fluffer has been used by the real estate industry to refer to a person that stages homes. 10. And as a term for a maid who fluffs pillows, or in general cleans and prepares work equipment. Today you also fucked up by learning your mother knows more about the porn industry than you do. There are several Today I fucked up categories. Not sure which this fits in precisely, but you win it. Edit. The Inigo Award. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Today I fluffed up. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Why would Chad say that in the moment though? Like he was decorating the house and all of a sudden he just announces, "By the way everyone, I'm a good fluffer." Luckily enough for you, I read on another thread today that fluffers aren't real. It was on r/Reddit and it's a common misconception. It had interviews cited from lots of adult stars who claimed they have never heard nor seen of such a thing. Edit. Comment for reference. Today I fucked up by not taking my toddler seriously when he said he is really itchy down there. My toddler just started potty training and has been generally good about it. Like any kid he has phases where he cooperates, is proud of himself, and doing a good job learning while staying positive during accidents. My today I fucked up happened during pretty much the opposite, refusing to go when it was clear he needed to and we had to carry him to the potty, kicking, having a total meltdown when he got pee on the seat or his clothes, crying at bedtime when we tell him he has to try, etc. We are doing our regular bedtime routine and we just got through the potty portion and he is telling me that he is really itchy down there. Because of his negative attitude lately, I don't take his discomfort seriously. I think he just needs to have a little rinse down there, so I get him into the bath, but as he straddles the side of the tub to climb in, he screams and is in clear agony. I immediately pick him up to comfort him and then take a closer look at the problem area only to find some diaper fuzz. So I pull on the fuzzy to try to get it out, but in so doing I tug on his penis and starts wailing again. My kid is very pain tolerant for a toddler, so I know this is serious. I talk him down for 5-10 millines and explain that he is hurting and the only way to make it better is for me to look at it so I can help him. He says, "Okay, Daddy," with a whimper, and I pull back the skin and can see there is a long hair under the skin which was previously masked by the diaper fuzzy. Somehow the hair has tied itself in a noose around the head of his penis in such a way where it cannot be loosened. I tried to pull gently from either end, but no matter what I do, it only sinked it tighter, and worse yet, It somehow is making things irrevocably worse. I can see the skin on his penis is dimpling in more as I try to dismantle Satan's knot. I take a step back and let wife handle his emotional well-being to formulate a plan. After a few minutes of deliberation, I decide to rub some lotion on the area to lubricate the skin and hair so that it might slip off, and after working at that toddler penis for a few minutes I finally got it off. He. Holy shit. I thought I might have to take him to the or cut the hair off, but because he wiggles so much nothing sharp was going down there. I was so relieved, as was my little guy. And his little guy. What a night. Hair strangles toddler penis. Who knew that was a thing? And #X200B. Too long did not read. My 4-year-old had a rogue hair try to strangle his penis like straight out of a Japanese horror film, and I brushed off his complaints until the noose was synced, leaving him screaming in agony. He is now fine and there was no permanent damage to his penis, for those concerned. Yeah, hair tourniquets are a thing, also happens to toes and fingers. The he is a little disturbing cold sweat smile. That joke was pretty tasteless. Honestly, I would be crying and refusing to cooperate too. Sounds like hell, especially when you aren't really old enough to do anything about it. This is actually a serious danger to babies who can't tell you anything. Kids can lose fingers or toes or even a hand or foot if the hair goes unnoticed. Hell, even adults can lose something if they ignore it. This made my eyes water. Our son had a hair tied round his toe, not comparable I know, when he was a few days old, and it was right in one of the creases, so we couldn't risk cutting it out. Long story short, we keep hair removal cream in the house at all times now. As a newborn nursery nurse, I always talk about this as a possibility. It happen on toes as well as penises a lot. Usually always hair that builds up in footed sleepers. Always inspect if a child will not stop crying. It happen more than you would suspect, particularly in newborns who cannot explain. So happy this worked out for you. There have been some bad outcomes. Pass the word. He says okay daddy with a whimper. I'm extremely sorry and ashamed for laughing at this. Hope he's doing better though. Today I fucked up by finding the engagement ring. My boyfriend knows I'm a clean freak and I'm constantly cleaning everything inside and out, even the bedside drawers. Note. He loves when I'm reorganizing his stuff as long as I don't throw things away without his permission. I'm cleaning and reorganizing things when I opened his bedside drawer to organize it again for the 80 billionth time. I find this huge box after pulling everything and I'm thinking it's his earrings gauges. So I open it and it's an engagement ring. Note. In my defense, it literally looks like all the boxes his gauges are in, and no, I did not read the wording on the box. And in my head it's huge. So I wouldn't think there was a ring in there. If anything, a necklace or larger jewelry. Anyways, he's really good at surprises and I love being surprised. Now I feel so bad I found and saw it. I put it back immediately and left his drawer a mess so he doesn't know I found it. But I most definitely killed the surprise of not knowing he's planning this and what the ring looks like. We have dated for 4 years, but I hadn't a clue he was planning on it anytime soon. Too long did not read. I found the engagement ring my boyfriend bought when cleaning his bedside table on accident. Ruined the surprise. Trying to pretend I don't know now. Switch the script. Go get a ring and propose to him first. Talk about surprises. Plot twist. The ring isn't for you. If you're inclined to say yes, write yes on a note and put it in the box with the ring and wait for him to find it. I accidentally found my ring 6 months before my now husband proposed. It was a really long 6 months. At some point he figured out that I knew, but I never explicitly told him. It's just a funny story now. You actually have an amazing opportunity here. Get a ring for him, and carry it with you. Wait for him to propose, and when he does, act surprised, but you don't have to overdo it, because you will pull out your ring for him and be all like, I was just waiting for the right time. I guess that's now. It will be a way to answer him that he'll never forget. Just because you found the ring doesn't mean it's not still special. And you can make it even more special for him. Seriously, look up videos of dual proposals on YouTube, they never fail to get love. TBH, that's a pretty lousy hiding spot. Even more so considering the fact that going through, cleaning, organizing everything in the house is a normal everyday thing for you. As long as you're happy he's going to ask, it's not a big foo. Proposals shouldn't be a total surprise. You should both be in a place where you've discussed that you're looking to marry at some point and feel comfortable with the idea of making that commitment. The how, When and where of the proposals are supposed to, but not required to, be the surprise part, not the proposal itself. Ah, man. Something similar happened to me years ago. I opened the door when it was being delivered and there was no way for my boyfriend to hide what it was.